In the early days of the pandemic, employers who were able reassigned their employees to work remotely. As conditions stabilized and knowledge of the virus increased, many employees returned to the office, but others continued to work remotely or were asked to work a hybrid arrangement consisting of remote work with some in-office commitments. What have we learned over these months that can help us as an employer understand the good, the bad, and the ugly of remote and hybrid work? Stay tuned to learn two key aspects of remote or hybrid work that will help you successfully manage the way work now gets done. Let's begin our 5-minute staff meeting. If an HR leader were to have entered an executive staff meeting just a little over 2 years ago and proposed that even a small percentage of the workforce be assigned to work remotely, odds are that individual would have been met with comments such as, "You've got to be kidding. We can't trust people to get their work done if they're sitting at home in their pajamas. We'll lose our competitive advantage. It will never work." And yet, a pandemic forced leaders to find another way to get the work done, and the results have been quite surprising. In spite of the successes we often hear about virtual and hybrid work, there are considerations that, if not addressed, can result in some incredibly negative consequences for the organization. Here are 2 areas of concern every organization needs to include in their ongoing evaluation of remote and hybrid work. First, increase risks and liability. Word is on the street that with up to 60% of the American workforce having worked remotely over the last 2 years, that the wage and hour claims have been stacking up from these same employees, claiming they were not paid for all hours worked and not being reimbursed for work-related expenses. For those continuing to offer remote or hybrid work assignments, consideration should be given to making sure all related policies are clear and acknowledged by employees. Technology solutions for tracking all time worked, breaks, and meal periods must be a primary consideration for every employer where remote work is offered. These same actions will also help reduce the number of workers' compensation claims related to working remotely. Employers should require employees to have a dedicated work area. Any alleged work-related injury occurring at home must be investigated thoroughly because these become extremely complicated cases. Second, it's all about the culture. It should come as no surprise that many working remotely feel disconnected from the rest of the organization, and especially their teams. This is true whether everyone is remote, hybrid, some in the office, or a combination of all 3. Disconnectedness and loneliness result in increased turnover, lower productivity, absenteeism, and the lower quality of work. The estimated cost of loneliness is an enormous hit to the U.S. economy, coming in at roughly $406 billion a year. Another consequence of this feeling of being disconnected has been the increase in whistleblower complaints. So, what do you do to connect the remote and hybrid workforce with the rest of the organization? Promote friendship. Friendships at work increase engagement, productivity, and overall satisfaction. Improve communications. Give employees opportunities to share successes and personal stories. Vulnerable sharing is a powerful way to connect with others. Make it easier to support and report issues and complaints. And turn onboarding to something that is far more experiential than simply watching videos and reading policy manuals. Remote work saved lives and businesses during the pandemic, and there were many lessons learned. Yes, there is more flexibility, productivity, lower costs, and an improved employee experience with hybrid work assignments. But the decision to continue these work arrangements should consider the 2 areas of concern we have discussed today. Preserving and strengthening your organizational culture depends on more than just policies and technology. One of the great lessons of this pandemic has been that humans do not thrive as solitary individuals. Keep your team connected, wherever they work. References are found in the description. If you have benefited from this discussion, share and subscribe. Until next time, remember to find the solutions to your challenges among those who get the work done.